Good morning. It's Thursday. I almost said Tuesday. It's Thursday. It's one of the tea mornings. The last tea morning. Thursday morning. I feel much better today. Phew. But boy, what a thing. Got the car there just fine. I put enough coolant in the reservoir that I felt comfortable with. Got it there just fine. Parked the car, talked to the service writer there, who is really good at what he does, and explained everything. It was great. Got my loaner car. So, and while it was sitting there, I went back outside to grab some stuff out of the car, and the coolant just started trickling out the bottom. So it's a fairly long drive from here to the dealership. So it was, I thought it sounded like I lost them. I guess I didn't. So it wasn't harrowing. The temperature goes to and stays at 200 degrees. So that was my biggest worry, to be honest with you, was the temperature overheating. I didn't know exactly what was going on, just like I still don't know what the hell's going on. But I made it to the dealership without it overheating at all. I didn't lose much coolant on the way, but I'm pretty sure by the time they get it to where it needs to go to take a look at, it's probably going to be back down below the minimum level. So, yeah, so they'll get it taken care of. And we don't know what it is, and we won't know what it is until they take everything off, run a diagnostic. He said that they've got to do some, just regular testing. You know, they trace the leak. It might be a hose. I'm hoping it's just a hose, but we'll see. Coffee family's coffee today. Good stuff. Beans smell so nice. Such a great tasting coffee. We'll just switcheroo. And then the Porsche event last night. Wow. I've got pictures. Guess what's going to be a promo video for the new Porsche Macan EV? They had 3 EVs there. A green one, which was the top of the line turbo. They had a white one that had red interior, just like my Macan. And then they had a blue one. And then this morning, when I went to the dealership, I had scheduled last night a time to take a test drive at 9 o'clock this morning. And that went great. Luckily, the very nice salesperson basically gave me the impression, he's like, I know you're not going to buy anything today. So I'm like, yay! Because you never know. Those situations are awkward, because there was the one salesman that I spoke to and that I had the test drive with today that was very laid back and no pressure at all. And then you had the older gentleman who was there, who was a salesman, had been a salesman for a very long time, and was very much came off as very much, how are you going to take us home today? So, which I don't think any of the models there were take home today ready. So, which is good. It's a 2025 vehicle. I think you can build one. Because the one guy said that several people have built some and are having them shipped to the dealership. So that's good. The beautiful green one, it was a turbo. The light made the green sparkle pop. It's a $2,500 option color. So, but it was on the turbo, which had the Burmester top of the line sound system, all of the techie bells and whistles, that sort of thing. So that was a lot of fun. And like I said, I'll put up some pictures. We'll take you can have a look and see what I saw. So, but let's get this ground up first. The event was held at Tartan Fields, which is a golf course in Dublin. And the minute I walked in there, I said to myself, I don't belong here. It was basically just a bunch of old white men who compare the world to football and are programmed to defend, that kind of a thing, as Jimmy Buffett would say. There were some people my age and maybe a little younger That was kind of nice. At the very end of the night, as everything was wrapping up, I actually got to talk to 3 other people. One person was considering a car like mine, and I think I convinced him that it was a good idea. And then his 2 friends were there, and we just talked about cars for like 15 minutes, and it was really nice to have that ending, because otherwise I was just sitting there. So just sitting there staring at a car, being like, I can't afford that ever. But it was fun. It was great. The cars are really nice. I like the body lines. The technology seems really good, since it's basically just the technology they've had in the Taycan for several years put into a Macan. So it's one of those things where normally you would want to maybe skip the first generation of a vehicle to let the technology catch up with, certain aspects of the car. Sometimes you run into a lot of bugs with a brand new vehicle that's like the first gen. This seems like it's going to be buttoned up and ready to go Gen 1, because a lot of the technology, if not all of the technology, has already been proven in the Taycan. And then it's a Macan, of course, so it's going to have suspension, and it's got 4-wheel steering, which is really cool in some models. I think the model that I drove, because I did test drive one today, it's incredibly smooth. It's deceptively light to drive. It's a very heavy car because it's an EV. It's got batteries in it. So those batteries add a ton of weight, several tons actually. So, there's a lot going on with the batteries, but it was incredibly nimble, incredibly light. I didn't get to put my foot down because it was morning and the traffic was still terrible. The sales guy I was working with actually got there a little late because he was in traffic coming from downtown. Which was absolutely fine. It wasn't like I wanted to get back out into that damn traffic anyway. And by the time I left, the traffic was in good shape. So I got very fortunate on the way home. There was very little stop and go until I got to a certain point. And it just seems like at that one certain point, it's always stop and go. So I'm going to go 500 a day because I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel that drives an EV. No, I don't drive an EV. I did get a car. It is a Macan T. That's the lower trim spec. Still full of fun options. Lane change assist, which I really like. It's also got cruise control. That's the radar cruise that sees the car in front of you and stops and slows accordingly, which I love that. I wish my car had that. But it does not, so that's fine. It is much less stressful today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was nail biting. I was able to get through when I called. They were able to secure me a loaner, which is great. He said he could get back to me as early as today, maybe even tomorrow morning, to let me know what repairs need to be done. I technically have the rental until, it's not rental, it's a loaner. The loaner until Monday, but if they have the parts in and it's an easy fix, they could have me back in there by tomorrow morning to pick everything up and button everything up. So that would be great. I will say that while it was in the parking lot, like I said, when I got parked and it settled down, the coolant really started to roll out of the bottom of the car. So I'm hoping it's just a hose. But he said if they have to order parts, they'll rush whatever they need to rush to get it there so it can be done by Monday. So I was very surprised that they could get me in so quickly. I mean, I guess if you schedule an oil change can wait a couple extra days. I don't know if they have like emergency. I don't know if it's like a doctor's office. Do you have a problem now? We can get you in. If you don't have a problem now and it's just an appointment, we'll get you in 6 months. That kind of a thing. I don't know if car dealerships have that sort of a scheduling system now. They didn't when I was scheduling service. I have a scheduling, the nearest closest one is this, and there was no priority really given to any kind of problematic issue. So, I mean, if it was problematic enough, it would be on the back of a wrecker being pulled into the dealership at that very point, and then the scheduling would be done while they were standing there watching their car being taken off the wrecker. So It was a pretty good drawdown, about 3.5 minute drawdown. That's nice, including the bloom. So I don't mind that at all. Smells so good, but it's hot as hell. Oh my God, it's so hot. So well, wait a minute. Matt and his family landed in Portland. I didn't realize they were having a layover in Las Vegas because I looked at my tracker and I'm like, why is he in Las Vegas? What's he doing there for so long? They had a layover in Vegas, and they made it to Portland, so they had their first day yesterday. I'm sure he's tired. He did not sleep at all the night before because they had to get up at 3:30. I mean, he doesn't normally go to bed until like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So that was a problem. So he was on adrenaline for most of the day yesterday, so I'm sure he just wiped himself out. But yeah, so they made it just fine. So no problems. And I think this weekend's going to be okay. I'm going to drive the borrowed car. I'm not going to do the EV thing with the Polestar. I'm just going to drive the rental. I'm going to wash it today. I went outside and I did my little walk around like I always do just to check. It's a brand new Macan T. It's got 2,000 miles on it. And for some reason, even at 2,000 miles, it still has sticky tape on the door. It looks like somebody rubbed up against something on one of the rear fenders, and there's still weird tape on the front bumper, residue. So I took care of the stuff on the door, and I took care of the rubbing that was on the driver's side rear fender. It's completely gone now. It just looked like it rubbed up against something, but I was able to take it off and clean that all off. I need to do the stuff on the front bumper too, because I don't drive a dirty car if I can help it. I know his car is dirty and needs to be washed, but yeah, it's got bird poop on the hood a little bit. It needs a wash. So once it gets warmed up, I'm going to do the stupid thing, and I'm going to get it out of the garage, and we're going to give it a wash because it's exercise, and because it needs. What's really nice though is that it's white exterior and a red seats, just like mine. The problem is, I think those T's are like a 4-cylinder. And it really feels like a 4-cylinder. I don't miss driving 4-cylinders. It does what it needs to do, which is go forwards and backwards. I don't need to race it. Although I will say, going home this weekend, I will miss my V6 twin turbo and GTS wheels and tires. I will miss them so much. They're summer tires. I think these are all seasons that are on this, but mine are summer tires, and they are fun to drive home in because I got that wonderful stretch of windy, twisty road that you roll the windows down, and there's hillsides on one side of you, and you can just hear every note coming out of those exhaust pipes. It is the coolest and greatest thing ever, and I will miss that this time because the next time I go down, it'll probably be snow tires and careful driving because it'll probably be colder and icy and snowy. I'm hoping for snow this year. That'd be great. I don't mind snow. Anywho, sorry. A lot of pictures to show. I'm sure while I've been talking, I've been showing the pictures. They're neat cars. I'm excited to see what comes of it. The salesperson said that they are looking to go fully electric by like 2026, 2027. But you've got Caymans, you've got 911s, you've got, you've got this entire line of cars. Now, if you were to attempt to go completely EV with the Macan, while still having the Cayenne as a gas alternative, that'll probably make their prices a little bit closer because, of course, the Macan costs less because it's smaller and the Cayenne costs more because I think it starts at a V6 and then you go up one step and it's a V8 and then you get the twin turbo V8 and that so on and so forth, whereas the Macan is a 4-cylinder base and then you go up to a V6 and then a twin turbo V6. So... or maybe it just goes straight to a twin turbo V6. I'm not really sure. I'm never going back to anything but a GTS again, so it really doesn't matter. unless it's an EV. And it's weird because they're using the turbo moniker for the top of the line, which I kind of thought maybe they didn't do away with. Maybe they did away with Turbo S because GTS is supposed to be the top of the line, and EVs are just sitting in a different space right now. So, oh, so good. Nice nutty taste. Really, really smooth coffee. It's so good. And yeah, it's a nice dark coffee. I like a nice dark coffee. Speaking of, it's an indie. What are you doing? That's why I'm kind of dressed. I have shoes on and I have pants on. I'm wearing a flannel. So I just got home, cleaned the tape off of the doors. Yeah, I'm going out there when it gets a little warmer. I think it's supposed to get up into the 60s today. So when it gets a little warmer, I'll be out there doing a detailed job. It's just so weird, you know? These cars are like, you're showcasing these vehicles, and it's like, you know, when someone borrows a brand new 2024 and their car is maybe like 5 to 10 years old, I mean, you kind of want them to look at that car that they borrowed and be like, maybe I would fit better in this one. Maybe my family would fit better in this one. Maybe I need a better warranty. Maybe I need a new warranty. So on and so forth. And it just seems like that they would want to take care of them a little better. I know that I don't know what their detail shop is. I do know that they hand wash their cars. So it's just weird because it was just glaring. The tape, the sticky tape on the side of the door on the driver's side, very just glaring. There were like 3 places. And the stuff on the front too is a little glaring. So it's just weird. You would think that dealerships and even service departments would want to kind of showcase the cars that they lend out to people because they're like, you could have this. It's newer. You know, let us help you, you know, and that's kind of a way the service department can work with the sales department. But that's happened a couple of times. Like the BMW I got maybe a year ago when I took it in for service. The BMW I got, the top of it, the roof had a line of weird stickiness going across the sunroof and onto the paint. And of course, I took some Goo Gone and rubbed it off, and then of course washed the Goo Gone off. You don't want it hurting the clear coat. But you know, I meticulously got all that, and then there was some on the windshield, and I'm like, what is going on? So I took it off of the windshield. So it's like, it's what happens when I get a car that, you know, if it's not being taken care of at the dealership, I'll give it a once over. You know, why not? I'm not doing anything, you know? So, okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'll have all of those pictures up. I'll put them on my Instagram too. It was a really fun event. I really enjoyed. We started at 5, it ended at 8. I think I left at about 7:30. It was really nice. They had a dinner there, a lot of deviled eggs, which I don't like, but they did have shrimp cocktails that got eaten really quickly. And then it was like a giant shrimp, one single shrimp in a little cup with sauce in the bottom, which was funny, but it tasted nice. And then they had, it wasn't prime rib, but it was sliced something. It tasted good. And then they had really steel rolls, which was kind of a bummer. But what are you going to do? It was basically, it was free. It was literally free. All I had to do was say, I'll be there. And then they had my name on a list. I got a little name tag. And then I got a little gift thing when I was leaving. It's water, but it's also a Macan. Look at that. Still water, purified water with electrolytes added for taste, because who doesn't want taste in their water? But yeah, it's a tin or aluminum or whatever, and it's got Macan on the outside of it. And it's got a goodbye date, which, or is it, oh no, that's a manufacture date. I'm like, okay guys, That's a manufacture date, which looks like it'll kind of wipe off if I tried hard enough. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. When does water go bad? No, that's a manufacture date, MFG. Okay. But yeah, look at that. Got a Macan on the side of it. That's the EV that you've seen pictures of all morning. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll do another coffee tomorrow since I missed out on Tuesday. And then we'll be heading south to see family and friends. And hopefully by tomorrow, I'll have some news on what they're going to be able to do about the car. I'm glad that I got through it. It was really harrowing, and I had moments of panic because it's like, you know, am I going to be able to make it there? What is the extent of the damage? Has it gotten worse? Will it get worse on the way there? Will I see temperatures spike in the engine bay as I'm driving along? And luckily, none of that happened. So cheers to Porsche. And cheers to all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.